Hello everybody. So I just got to the mall. I'm going to run to Sephora to get a free smell. I don't know which one I'm going to pick, but we're going to find out. Alrighty, so if I go into Sephora and there is a new Tom Ford fragrance that I have not even heard of or tried, I'm definitely going to be trying it. And this one, Taormina Orange, definitely lives up to the expectation just based on the name. It is very citrusy. It almost reminds me of like when I'm making food for my kids, I'm like peeling a mandarin or something, or an orange, and I get like the citrus oils on my fingers. That's really what it smells like. It smells like mandarins, it smells like limes, very citrusy forward, but also like a little bit of earthiness behind it. But primarily at this point, it almost smells like a citrus peel, essential oil almost, in a way that I enjoy. That's a smell that I do like. So, we'll see how this develops, but I'm really excited to see what it ends up doing. So I'll check back in about an hour or so. I tell you what, I'm glad that I got my first impressions before I got back into the car because I knew that I had rotisserie chicken back here, and that smell is strong. Maybe old Tommy Ford needs to like do a rotisserie chicken themed fragrance. If anybody could do it, he probably could. Alrighty, so it's been a little over an hour since I applied Taormina Orange, and I gotta say, I really like this. It is less of the essential oil smell of like citrus that it was at the beginning, which still wasn't bad. I still like that. But now it's almost like a smoother, creamier smell, if that makes sense. Not like an orange cream like a dessert, but just like much smoother. Like I think that some of the other notes that are coming through, especially the floral notes, like orange blossom, are kind of coming through and mellowing out some of that intense citrus scent. And probably more of those base notes of, I think it's like patchouli and moss are some of the ones on the base layers of this that are really kind of coming out a little bit more than they were in the beginning. So I'm very excited to see how this develops over the next several hours. I'll check back in somewhere between 5 and 7 hours since application, and we will go from there. Hello everybody. So it's now been about 6 hours since I applied Taormina Orange, and it's really not super detectable at this point. My wife got home from the office, and she's very much a real person. She got home, and I was like, smell my arm. And she was like, I can't really smell it that much. It's not really that detectable. So performance-wise, it probably tapered off somewhere between hours 4 and 5, if I had to guess. But while this thing is smelling, it is smelling good. It like opened up with kind of like those real strong citrusy smells that kind of like mellowed out, and then a lot of those like rich base notes came through to where it had like the orange blossom, it had these floral notes, and it had like some really deep like musky smells to it that it finished off very well, but just the overall duration of it was not the best. Like it performed longevity wise about as much as like Oud Wood, which is another one that I really enjoy that I've done a video on, so go check that out. But if you're wanting something that lasts all day or like for a long time, like an Eros or an Angel or something, you're not going to find that performance with this. But when this one's kicking, it's kicking hard. I can say that. I'm very excited for this one to end up getting some like discounters because right now it's just really expensive. We'll go over that in a moment. But I'm very excited to maybe one day add this to my collection when it's a little bit cheaper. So if you want to buy this from Mr. Thomas Ford himself, then you're kind of limited in your options. Right now on their website, there is only in stock the 10 milliliter atomizer, and it is like $75. They do have up to a 50 milliliter bottle on their website, but even that is like $300. So you're not going to find a really cheap version of this just because it is so new. I think it came out, at least in the United States, maybe it was available elsewhere, I don't know, but it had at the very least a US release like in the last week or two. So this is kind of like at the forefront of stuff coming out. You're not going to find like discounted or old stock on this available anytime soon, probably, which makes me sad. But that being said, let's see what other places you could buy it from other than Tom Ford. The prices that you could expect to pay at Sephora are pretty consistent with Tom Ford's website. So for a 50 milliliter bottle, you are looking at $300. You could maybe get some like break on the price at Sephora, like if you have their credit card or some type of other promotions that they might run. I'm not super familiar with their pricing structure or incentive programs or like loyalty programs, but you may be able to get a cheaper price on it there that way. As I was looking through pricing for these different bottles, I found one that was interesting. I'm not saying I'd recommend it because honestly it's a little bit weird, but from a website called Harrods, then they have a 100 milliliter bottle of this fragrance for $395. I'm saying that's weird because Tom Ford's website doesn't even have a 100 milliliter bottle. So I'm like, where are you guys getting, like, is Tom Ford making a 100 milliliter bottle? But they're like, no, we're only going to sell it through Harrods. We're not going to sell it ourselves. That doesn't really sound right to me. So I thought this was more interesting as opposed to an actual recommendation of where to buy it. If anybody has any information on that, please comment and let me know because I'm interested how Harrods is selling a bigger bottle than is even available from Tom Ford. So, that's kind of interesting. But all that being said, this is a very good fragrance. Like, I'm not just trying to jump on a hype train or anything like that. This is legitimately one of my favorite things that I've smelled in a while. It felt very true to what it was saying it was. It was like, oh, like Taormina is a city in Italy. It's like a coastal city. It's like, oh, the smells of like the Italian coast and all that stuff. I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm there. When I was smelling it, I sprayed it on myself and I was like, I feel like I'm in a coastal Italian city. So it does what it sets out to do and it smells great. Longevity wise, it's kind of what I expected just based off of my other experience with Tom Ford, like oud wood. But like typical, when it's kicking hard. It's just not going to kick as long as maybe you might want. So, take that for what it's worth. If you like this video, like and subscribe, all that jazz. It makes me feel good. Leave some comments. I really enjoy engaging with people in the comment section. I've had some really great conversations since I've started doing these videos. And I just want to say again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a wonderful night.